He's starting something.
Yeah, we're live. What's going on, everybody? This is the Red Cup Review. I'm your host, Rob Banks, and I'm joined always by my better half, Baz. What's going on, buddy? Definitely. And how's it going, man? How's your week?
Pretty good, man. I went to go see that new movie about Freddie Mercury.
Nice. How was that?
Oh my God, it was so good.
Can you give us like a 30-second to 1 minute breakdown of the movie?
It's basically you see the beginnings of Queen, the trials and tribulations on making it, and Freddie Mercury, and his troubles, his troubled love life, and his eventual passing away. I mean, they don't show him passing away or anything. They show him revealing to his bandmates that he has AIDS and everything, and.
Right.
The movie basically ends with their famous performance at Live Aid.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so
freaking
it's
awesome.
like a perfect recreation. And I think it's pretty much almost every song played in full. So it was excellent, man. I couldn't, I mean, I got lost in the character. Like, I really liked the actor who was playing him,
Right.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, he actually starred in a video game, this game called Until Dawn. He was one of the characters in this game called Until Dawn. He plays one of the main characters that he was, rotoscoped for the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember I first saw him in The Pacific, I think it's called. It was a miniseries on HBO about the war in the Pacific, done by Steven Spielberg.
And that was a continuation of Band of Brothers, right?
Right, exactly. And I remember thinking, wow, this guy's such a dick. I hated him, right? And it was because he was such a good actor. Like, his character was a jerk. You know what I mean? So, and then I started watching him in Mr. Robot, which he won an Emmy for. So
wow.
I'm telling you, he was Freddie Mercury in this. I totally, lost any sense of my sense of disbelief was totally, gone. So I think he's going to win an Oscar, man.
Nice. Awesome.
He's going to go up.
Hello to everybody watching. We got 6 viewers off the bat. This is great. All right. This is where I'm going to do a quick little rundown now of everything that's been going on, and I'm going to get all my shout outs out of the way, right? All right. Last night, I was on an episode called Darth Castle's Open Mic. It was on the Darth Castle channel. So shout out to Darth Castle. Thanks for having me on. And there was like 8 of us spitfiring, going all at once, talking about statues and collectibles. And of course, there was, your The Last Jedi argument, but I wasn't the only one defending The Last Jedi, so I felt all right. So I was over there. So thanks to Darth Castle. And I want to give a shout out to everybody else that was in there. And these guys are probably going to be appearing on the Red Cup Review in the coming weeks. Sinister Collector, what's up? Thanks for the sub, brother. Mac Collections, you're the man. Darth Castle, of course, the host, the one and only. The Paradox Nerd, he comes in here once in a while. He's in the chat, so definitely talk to him when he jumps in here, possibly later on. Rodney, I don't remember your channel, but you're soulmates, brother. Last Jedi. And Sims from overseas. So those are the guys I want to give a shout out to. There was a couple other guys. I couldn't get everybody's thing together in time for the show. So shout out to those dudes. Also, I want to give a shout out to Mike from next door and Justin, who lent us this beautiful DeLorean. Why the hell is there a DeLorean sitting on the table right now? Well, check this out. The freaking thing lights up. It takes us back in time. Just like tonight, you're going to be taken back in time because when the clocks strike 2, they're really striking 1. So tonight, we're literally going back to the future. So there you go. Shout outs to Mike. Thanks for the collectible for the show, brother. All right. And once again, like, we're going to continue our weekly discussion of the comic of the week inside of the Collectibles resource Hanging Frames. This week, we're looking at the Uncanny X-Men number 141, Days of the Future Past. Try and get a good shot at it. And this is a 9.6. It ain't, 9.8, but this is a really good version too. And this is one of my favorite X-Men comics. It's one of those stories that stick with you forever. For those that don't know anything about the Days of the Future Past, basically, there's an alternate future where Wolverine is left alone with Sprite to try to fight off the Sentinels that have taken over and killed basically half the X-Men and pretty much destroyed the majority of the future. Baz, what's your thoughts on Days of the Future Past?
You actually called her Sprite.
Kitty Pryde. There you go.
That's that stupid name they tried giving her.
Yeah.
They kept trying to give her different names like Sprite and then Shadow Cat.
Yeah, Shadow Cat I like. Shadow Cat's better than Sprite, but she's Kitty. Who are we kidding? She's Kitty.
Yeah, very classic storyline. But you know what's funny is like it's only a two-parter. It's only two issues. You know, for as you know, critically acclaimed and as you know, legendary as the story is, it's only friggin' 2 issues.
And is that a testament to the type of writing that took place back in the day? And that I remember that right during the early 90s, late 80s, right around the time the Extinction Agenda came out, we had to have like these 8, 9, 12 parters, 16-part crossovers, got to get every comic. This was when you can get an iconic story in 2 issues.
Yeah, and Chris Claremont writes a lot of dialogue. His word, so you get a lot.
Right, yeah, so it's chock full. So if you get a chance, try and get yourself, I don't know if you're going to be able to get this issue if you want to spend a couple of bucks, but otherwise try and get
personally, I think the cover and the idea of the story is cooler than the actual story.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was, I think that like when they executed it, especially from my generation, when they took this comic and they executed it in the, or a version of it that is, in the X-Men cartoons in the early 90s, where they used obviously different mutants in place of certain people, but you got to see Wolverine all grizzled up and, you know, taking the Sentinels out and stuff. It was just really cool. You get Colossus and him fighting off Sentinels. You get a fastball special in there. And then you get that, like, the next issue, you get Wolverine jumping up at the Sentinel and the Sentinel just blasting him and completely disintegrating Wolverine and wiping him out.
Well, so, they're selling a 2-pack for Days of the Future Past. I think it's Marvel Legends. With it's a Sentinel. I think maybe 12 to 18 inch. I'm unsure, but with that Wolverine, that exact Wolverine.
Yeah. When I first saw that Marvel Legend, I was wondering if that was a smaller figure. If the Wolverine was smaller and the Sentinel was big, no, but the Wolverine is 6 inches, so that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Once again, Collector's Resource, thanks for the, there's your plug, buddy. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, cool. Moving along, that was our comic of the week. All right, all the shout-outs are out of the way. Baz, biggest news of the week, in my opinion, I got to see it last night. Teen Titans, Episode 4, the friggin' Doom Patrol, bro. I thought it was excellent. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah, it was really good.
I mean, I was really freaking happy with it. I'm not really familiar with the Doom Patrol. As a matter of fact, this was like, besides the figures and a couple of like appearances in other comics, I don't really have any experience with the Doom Patrol pretty much completely. I know who they are. I don't really even know that much about their power sets besides just like them, their alter egos and their power sets. That's pretty much all I got.
They're kind of very similar to the X-Men in a way. They came out the same year as Marvel's X-Men. I think maybe like a few months prior, actually. And they're both fronted by smart men in wheelchairs.
Yeah,
and they're also all supposed to be odd, like weird heroes. You know?
I thought it was really cool that in the episode they made them very retro and they're from different time periods. Like the Negative Man is actually like a 1940s fighter pilot or like a courier pilot or something. And then you have like the 1940s burlesque sort of actress in, what's her name? Not Elastigirl, but the girl on the team. Basically, they're Elastigirl. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
What are you talking about? The main girl, the only girl on the team. What do you mean, no?
What do you mean, Rita Farr? Is that the name? I think
yes, I'm talking about the hero. What's her hero name?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Rita Farr, I think.
Well, who is she?
Oh, Elastigirl, dude.
That's her name, Elastigirl?
Yeah, you're like, not Elastigirl. I'm like, what the hell are you? Yeah. That's why I was so confused. It was, you know the name.
Yeah, well, because Elastigirl, you know, everyone knows Elastigirl nowadays being from The Incredibles. That's why.
Well, it's like because she could, I guess she could stretch that large size. She grows.
Right. I thought that that the Robot Man execution was great with Brendan Fraser playing Robot Man. I thought that was really funny. I like the idea that they had Beast Boy on the team, and now he's actually going with the Titans. That was a pretty cool send-off. Now
I loved how like he watched Raven eat. He was watching Raven eat, and he was like enjoying it because he can't taste anymore.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh,
what does that taste like?"
To me. And she's like, "Oh, this." She's eating chicken wings, and she's like, they're crispy and juicy on the inside. And he's like, oh, I remember what chicken wings taste like. They were so good. This is a robot. Robot man can't eat no more, obviously. Anyways.
So negative man, the one advantages could actually he has what is like a negative negative spirit that he can project out of his body. So he leaves his body and there's like black kind of like energy, like a soul energy, a negative energy releases from his body, and he can only stay out of his body for, I think, for like a minute or something. And then if he doesn't return, he dies.
Oh,
so
shit.
That's the kind of hitch to it.
I thought Timothy Dalton was playing the chief. What happened to that?
That's okay. They filmed the series, the Titans, early on, and the guy that they have now, I guess, didn't make the new Doom Patrol series itself. So they recast.
So he was recast. All right, cool. Because I'm watching it going, wait a second. I thought Timothy Dalton was playing, the chief. The chief is the guy. And for those who don't know, the chief is the leader. He's in the wheelchair. He's like like the world's greatest surgeon, and he's the one that kind of like helps these mutated heroes reclaim their lives and get like a new lease on life by, like with Robot Man, he takes the brain and mind of this race car driver and he puts it into a robot body so that he can continue to live on after a crazy accident. So he does that with like all the different, characters in that series. And then there you go. You have yourself the Doom Patrol. All right, cool. Well, then
now, later in the comics, they actually they make it so he is the guy who actually caused all those accidents.
The chief?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah. So he becomes a little bit of a villain in a way, and you could kind of see the way he was treating Beast Boy, like he was kind of being a jerk to all.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I don't want to put any spoilers for those that haven't seen the episode yet, but it's really good. I mean, every episode of Titans has been fucking stellar so far. So definitely continue to watch that. But that kind of threw me for a loop when I saw that, though. But I'm enjoying it, man. I got to tell you, this has got to be. And here we are now, 3 episodes since Robin's actually put his outfit back on, and he's still kicking ass. He's still great as Dick Grayson. You're getting a more detective. You're getting to see the more detective side of him. Not just straight up cop guy, but he's actually detecting things, which is something that's.
Speaking of outfits, somebody needs to take their outfit off. Starfire.
Oh my God! Enough, when she got out of the car with the fucking outfit on again, I was like. They really got to get her out of this outfit. They just got to change her clothes. I don't give a shit if she's wearing jogging pants at this point. Okay. So, anyways, I want to also tell everybody to go and check out the unofficial Michael Keaton Academy of Getting Nuts released their Batman Forever review. And I'm dead smack right in the middle of it. You get it's about 16 minutes long. The first 8 minutes are their review of the movie. And then after that, you get my little snippet of my review of Batman Forever, and they give me a nice shout out. They shout out the Red Cup review. It was great during the video and after the fact on their page. So unofficial Michael Keaton Academy of Getting Nuts. Join their Facebook page and go watch the Batman Forever review. You could see me wax poetic about bat nipples and how the Riddler's an idiot and all that. So I got enough 2 minutes of pretty funny little snippets I do. Okay, perfect casting on Robin. Yes, Kev's Matrix. That is totally correct. If you are in the chat room, please remember to like the video and type something up so we can give you a shout out. I want to say shout out to Marcella Sequero. She gives us a wave. I don't know if I'm seeing it that far. Remember, I'm wearing glasses here. Robin Ramos, always good to have you. And Kev's Matrix. Okay. Baz, anything else you want to say about this fantastic show of Titans besides it's a must watch?
No, man, I love it.
Yeah. All right, good enough. He loves it. All right. Moving on to
hold on. Okay. I thought Raven was like she could almost be a part of the team. I'm kind of sad that she's not going to be with them. I thought she worked really well with them last night.
With the Doom Patrol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool. She's good, man. She's surprising the hell out of me. I'm liking the direction they're taking her character. All right, Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, has been cast as the Black Mask in the Birds of Prey movie. Now, how cool is that? I think it's pretty freaking damn cool. I just hope DC doesn't drop the ball and waste another character or another great actor. But
it's cool, but when I think or see Ewan McGregor, I don't think Black Mask.
Yeah, well, you're not going to see him anyway because he's going to be behind.
Yeah, well,
the Black Mask, But it's cool. You know, I just hope, well, there's one thing I hope they're not doing, and that's doing the flavor of the week. Like the what's the hot ticket? Like, who could we cast to drum up excitement for the movie? Just cast somebody good. Ewan McGregor's a good friggin' actor, though. You know, you're not going to go wrong with him. But I just hope that they're doing their casting not based on, all right, we got to get a big name that in order to drum up more excitement for this movie. That's not going to be out for another 2 friggin' years anyway.
What it does tell me is that they're really going to make this movie. It seems like they're on the fast track.
Yeah.
To make this serious about it. So,
I really ain't got nothing else for that. I hope it's executed well. It's going to be nice to see the Black Mask. I'm glad they're not wasting a big time Bat villain on this movie, but a Bat villain that's just cool enough for the characters they're using. You know, Black Canary. I don't know why Harley Quinn all of a sudden she's got to be good, and who's the other one? Huntress. So cool set of girls.
Well, speaking of Huntress, I just found this in the box right next to me.
Nice. That's is that Bertinelli or is that the other one?
That is the Wayne. That's Helena Wayne, Earth 2.
Helena Wayne. Nice.
Who is the the daughter of the Bat and the Cat.
Nice. That's a DC Direct, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. That's an oldie but goodie. Speaking of the Bat and the Cat, I have the Catwoman from Mezco up here. And if you guys want to see the review, make sure to go check out the past videos that I did this week. I didn't get to Ash yet. I have him out as a little sneak peek. I should have did him today, though. And I have Catwoman. And Catwoman, I'll pick her up real quick, give you guys a nice little look. She is almost a perfect figure. When you take her out, I suggest that if you're going to buy her, though, you need to watch my video, not just because I want to just show it off and say, hey, my videos are the shit, but I do the blow dryer trick. So for those of you that get action figures and have heard about the blow dryer trick, or this works for hot toys too, what you do is you get your blow dryer, you put it on medium hot, you hold it about 12 inches away from your figure and leave it on there for about 30 seconds. I do that thing throughout the whole video. I opened the video with that because this figure came with like bum knees, where the knees were too stiff and the arms and the elbows were too stiff. So make sure you do the blow dryer trick on her before you even take her out of the, start posing her around. Here's another thing I noticed. There's a lot of people on Facebook, and I'm about to call these people out as well, but you want to know what? Screw it. I'm calling them out. I put a lot of posts up in the Facebook groups, and I say things like, hey, check out this video. I do this in this video, like the blow dryer trick for Catwoman. And then everyone ignores it. It gets no love at all, the video. And then people start posting, oh, my arm broke. Oh, my arm snapped on my Catwoman, or my leg snapped, and this is bullshit. I'm not paying $80 for a figure that snaps, and the quality control is terrible. Watch the damn video, folks, and pay attention to the guy who's trying to get out ahead of you. Okay, I'm getting these things first, practically, because I live in New York, right around where Mezco ships from, and I'm trying to show everybody, look, this is what you need to do. Now, granted, when you take our action figure out, the last thing you want to do is be busting out a blow dryer or doing all this other shit. You should just be able to open it up and play with it and pose it. I get that. But in order to save yourself a bunch of heartache and a bunch of bullshit, watch the damn videos, okay? Subscribe to the Red Cup Review. See that I'm putting out there big warning signs. Don't pose this figure until you see this video, because it will save you a lot of heartache. So for those of you that want to ignore it and then just go about bashing Mezco, you're the guys with the problems. You know, I don't know. You can only lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it, apparently. And that's all I got to say about that. Here's one more look at the Mezco Catwoman. All right, there you go.
I'm getting the purple one.
Yes. So when you get the purple one, please I mean, by that time, there'll probably be the second batch of figures, and you'll probably be, you know, it'll probably be over that. Like, if I had to guess, Mezco, before those will get shipped out, will probably do a little bit of more quality control on that. So where you probably aren't going to have to do that, but please be careful when you pull her out. And because every time an arm is in one of these like little sleeves, because they wear like actual clothes, feel for the joint. These guys are taking these figures out of the package, and they're just trying to bend the arm forward as if you could see where the joint is. You can't see where the joints are. They're hidden by the clothing. So what you have to do is feel in the arm for where the elbow joint is and just massage it around. Rotate it a little bit. Catch. As you're rotating it, you're going to catch where the bend is and then start to bend it. Don't just take it and bend it. You're going to snap the arm off. Okay, these are adult toys. We're not supposed to be just playing with them out of the package. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is, fellas. What do you guys think? Guys in the chat room, do you think that you should be able to buy a toy no matter how expensive it is or whatever and just open it up Or you think this is just a bunch of bullshit? You think I'm just covering up for a company? Because I'm about to call out the same company a little later on in the show. I'm going to call them out on something else that I've seen that they've been up to, along with Sideshow, but we'll get to that a little later on. And I have Ash. Ash is coming soon as well. Very good action figure. Big thumbs up from the Red Cup review on both. Okay. Moving along, we are going to talk about the Falcon and Winter Soldier limited series that's in the works. So apparently, Disney has a Falcon and Winter Soldier limited TV series that's going to come out along with the Disney streaming. Baz, is this a good idea?
Excellent. Excellent. Those guys have good chemistry together.
Especially if they use the same two actors, right? I'm hoping they're going to use the same two actors.
Those two characters are excellent together. I mean, the whole Winter Soldier arc with what's his name, Ed Brubaker,
right?
Was mostly once Cap was gone, it was basically Bucky and Falcon anyway in the series. Remember?
And they definitely shined together during the Civil War movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like had a lot of good back and forth together, which makes But those I attribute that to the actors. So as long as they keep the actors, Anthony Mackie and I forget the guy that plays Bucky and Bucky, those two guys together, they'll be all right. Go ahead, Baz.
Have Bucky and Hydra, man. It'd be awesome.
Yes, no, totally. So I think it's a good idea. I think it's a better idea than a Scarlet Witch TV series. And I like the idea that they're putting two heroes together because we spoke about how Marvel does this thing with their TV shows where you have Daredevil and Luke Cage and it's just them by themselves with no other heroes and it's 10 episodes of talking, 2 episodes of action. Having these guys together and making it more of a buddy cop thing, like a spy meets it almost seems like a superhero version of Lethal Weapon, kind of in a way. And I think it'll work. I think that if they go in that direction, I think it'll be great. Let's see. We have Slim Tim reviews. You gonna get the Mezco Freddy. Speaking of the Mezco Freddy, and we also have somebody that said you get the Mezco exclusives. I did not get the Iron Man exclusive because I personally think it looks terrible. Everyone's up in arms about this. My Iron Man 42, it looks great. And I don't have it in hand, so I couldn't really tell you, but I think the pictures look awful, and I just think it's a terrible color scheme. It reminds me of Wu-Tang Clan Killer Bees is on the hunt with Iron Man, so that's not for me. I want my Iron Man to actually look like Iron Man. However, I do have the Catwoman exclusive coming, and so does Baz with the purple variant. What other exclusive was released? Remind me. I bought another exclusive this week.
Homecoming?
Spider-Man Homecoming. Yes, I did order the Spider-Man Homecoming figure. I will be doing a review on that. And I'm not going to be keeping him in my collection. So once I review him, he'll be up for sale. And the Homecoming looks pretty good. I saw better pictures of the face. Remember last week, Baz, you were talking about the face sculpt not looking that good. I saw better pictures I saw it in hand. Someone actually has the Homecoming in hand. And the face sculpt it looks pretty good. It looks better than it's like Mezco doesn't know how to hire people to do their photography. I see better for action figure photographers in the action figure community of comic book art or articulated comic book art photo guys. They're like a group on Facebook that just take pictures of toys, and they do a friggin' better job. Okay, so now getting back to what Slim Tim said, you're going to get the Mezco Freddy. So I'm going to try something for the first time here. Check this out. This is a new feature we're going to have on the Red Cup review, and I got to thank Darth Castle for showing me this from last night. We're going to do a little screen share here to give everybody at home an idea of what we're talking about. And here it is. And there you go. The Freddy Kruger from Mezco that just went on sale this week. And it was a great idea to release this thing for Halloween. I think on Halloween it went on sale. And I think it comes with a great assortment of faces. I think it came with maybe other arm attachments that could have gave him the really long, when his arms grow in the movie. In the first movie, that would have been really cool. I don't know why he's coming with a sewer cap. To me, that doesn't make any sense. But it's going to work great. I'm definitely getting him. He's staying in my collection. I got Ash over here. Now I'm going to have Freddy. And by year's end, I should have Jason from Nightmare on Elm Street, which will complete the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, which is what I was going for in the first place. Baz.
Yo, I don't remember any sewer cap in the first movie.
Yeah, to me, it's like, why the hell is there a friggin' sewer cap thing going on. That doesn't really make any sense to me at all. What would have played better would have been a half scale / diorama piece, like a boiler or something, like a small little boiler with like a little light switch where the boiler could have went on. That would have worked much better.
That's the ticket.
You know, but instead they went with this thing.
I love the base that you stand the figure on, the poster.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a great idea. This is a perfect example of Mezco has been shit in the bed with their bases lately. The Catwoman just says Catwoman on it. It should have had a jewel. It should have had, like, the eyes of Catwoman or something. Just says Catwoman. This is how you do a friggin' base, where you would feel like, damn, I got to keep this base out because it's actually the poster of the first movie. And it's scary as hell. I mean, that's one of the great iconic posters. You know, it's got Nancy with the claw coming over her head. It's great. So let's see. It says here, that'll be a killer show. It'd get me to subscribe. Okay. Co-op fun mission shows. Gimli 16 is on his way here. All right, I'm going to minimize the Freddy Krueger here, but there you go. I'll get my Freddy versus Krueger versus Ash. So let's get back to the show and keep it moving. It says here, Gimli 16 is on the way here. Yes, and I am picking him up tomorrow. I would have had Gimli on Saturday. Today, actually. Oh, no, yesterday, Friday. I would have had Gimli on Friday, but I was not in the Bronx to pick it up. So I will have him tomorrow, and I'll be doing a review on him this week as well. So I have to do Ash, and I got to get to Gimli. So both of those reviews are coming as well. Ronan and Doctor Strange. Yes, I did get Doctor Strange. I don't have him here. I did a review on Doctor Strange. I'm selling him. I already sold Ronan, and I did a review on him. So you want to see, they weren't like actual Red Cup reviews. They were like little mini reviews. I was sitting at my kitchen table. There was already a friggin' million of these reviews. I had got them right out of New York Comic Con. I just put them on my table, gave everybody a quick shot of what he looks like, because basically the Doctor Strange is the same shit you got with the other one with a blue color scheme and a different accessory. It's the same damn thing. Let's see. Yeah, I pulled of Michael Myers' sleeve on the overalls to find the joke before moving. There you go. Smart man, Tim. Tim with the brain power coming through. Yes, way to go, Tim. You can use the boiler dio from NECA. Ah, smart idea. Maybe I will have to pick up that boiler on the aftermarket and on eBay. Baz, I'm sure you already have that boiler because you just got the Nightmare on Elm Street too, right?
Yeah, that doesn't come with a boiler. It comes with the what you call it, the two dogs with the human faces and a fire background.
Ah, okay, cool. Cool. I guess that they must have a different one than that comes with a different accessory. All right, I'm changing focus real quick, and I'm looking at the chats because the people are talking about things that we had already planned for later on in the show. So I'm going to keep it going because they're mentioning it now. Kev's Matrix says the new Gandalf looks amazing in 1/6 Asmus. So here we go with the screen share again. We're going to try this. And when I saw this week, my jaw hit the floor because this is what I've been waiting for. Take a look at that. Oh, my Lord. Asmus has finally did it. They found a way to do the rooted beard and the rooted hair correctly with their Gimli figure, and all the rooted hair stuff from that seems to be great. And they got Gandalf the Grey coming with the rooted hair and the rooted beard, and it looks stellar in these photos. And you know it's not going to look as good as this photo does because this is the prototype, but even if it's like 25% not as good as this, it's still going to be really good because the Gimli looks great in all the reviews that I've seen. Slim Tim says, I reviewed the boiler on my channel. Check it out when you have time. Yes, I definitely will. Baz, what do you think of the rooted face sculpt on the Gandalf there? You think it looks like him or what?
Yeah, perfect. Looks great.
Yeah, Andy Shu and the fellas over at Asmus Toys have really stepped their game up. I started my Lord of the Rings collection when I went to New York Toy Fair this year, and I met Andy. Got an interview with him. If you want to go back into the archives of the Red Cup review, you could check out my interview with Andy. And I start busting his nuts about, when are we going to get the next Gandalf, bro? I know you got to get me that Gandalf. And he was kind of like, all right, hold on, buddy. Like shut up a little bit. Like, it's coming. You know, I'm not saying nothing. And there you go. Here we are, like 8 months later, and it's actually coming out. So I'm glad I started my fellowship collection because really all I really wanted was the Gandalf. When I saw all these other Asmus Lord of the Rings figures up close, I had to get my hands on them. They looked really good. Now, they're not hot toy quality face sculpt wise, but their outfits are excellent. All the weapons are die cast. I mean, they look fantastic when you have them in the hand. So, and they're not as expensive as Hot Toys. These are actually 1/6 scale figures that come in below $200. So that's great, right? When was the last time you've seen a friggin' 6 scale that was under $200? Shit doesn't exist anymore. So, stop. Okay, so there you go. There's the Gandalf in 1/6 scale. So
does he come with a pipe?
I'm pretty sure it does. They're going to be doing the gray and the white. They're redoing both of them because the Gandalf the white was like terrible. It was one of their first releases and it was pretty awful. They're redoing both Gandalf the gray and Gandalf the white, and the gray comes with like 2 different pipes. He comes with it. The original one came with his hat. He came with 3 different staffs. They're probably not going to have him come with the original one came with, which was the original one came with the bridge that he stands on and does the "You shall not pass," and it's like broken in front of him, so you can have him like holding the sword up and the staff kind of with the jewel on it, doing the "You cannot pass" with him on the chasm there.
God damn it! I have to get him now. When's he coming out?
He won't be out for a year, so you got plenty of friggin' time, guy. You got plenty of time. But you know what, though? One thing I got to say about Asmus is that they're smarter than Hot Toys in that they show their figures a little bit closer than Hot Toys does from when they're ready. I'll give you, for instance, Gimli was shown at the beginning of the summer, like around May, like late spring. He was like revealed, I believe, like late April, early May, and he came out in August. Now, if you pre-ordered Gimli from Asmus's website, you would have had him already. See, me, I went the cheap route. I went through my sponsor. I waited. Now I have to wait until this, obviously November to get him. I could have had him 3 months ago if I would have ordered it directly from their website. However, that was a quick turnaround. They showed you Gimli and they were like, yo, he's coming in August. And he came in August. In August over in Hong Kong, he was out. So they show their figures when they're a little bit closer, right? So the newest figure they showed was the guy who's the head of damn it, what's his name? The Riders of Rohan, the guy that plays Carl Urban, the head of the Riders of Rohan.
Yeah.
The Carl Urban Lord of the Rings figure, they just showed him, and he's supposed to be out before the end of the year in December. Probably late December, early January. So if he doesn't come out by the end of December, which I'm sure they're going to try to get him out for, because then they do like this whole Chinese New Year thing where like all of overseas just basically shuts down for the month of January and February practically. You'll probably get him out soon too. So what's good about Asmus, thumbs up. You show us something, you know it's coming soon. Hot Toys, you see something and they coming for a year to a year and a half down the pipe, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Okay. So you had that. You got the 2 toys that were coming out there. Baz, Batman the Animated Series has come out on Blu Ray this week, just in time for 4K to make its big emergence. They're finally releasing this on Blu Ray. Okay. So by the time you're done with your Blu Ray Batman the Animated Series and they actually scrub it for 4K, we'll probably have 8K out by that time that happens. So, the Batman the Animated Series, Baz, give us a breakdown of why this is probably the greatest cartoon of all time.
Man, I saw a documentary on it. I think maybe last year or sometime, and it was Mark Hamill and Kevin talking about how they were doing the voice acting and they were recording it, and that they hadn't seen what it actually looked like, and then when they had recorded everything, they went back and they were shown the beginning of the episode. And they looked at each other and they were like, "Well, I didn't expect it to be like this," And it was just revolutionary for its time. They actually drew the actual animation on black. I think it was a black background, a black paper or whatever, to make it actually look darker.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it mixed eras of Batman. You had like a 1940s style kind of Batman mixed in with the movies. The score was similar to the movies. There was mature stories. The best voice ever to act as Batman ever.
I think that from what I've seen from the digital transfers, speaking of Batman, not all heroes wear capes, dads. There you go. This was I got my Batman mug. The digital transfers look excellent. You don't realize how muddied and really not ugly. The animation wasn't ugly, but the film, the filter on the original one that we were airing on Fox was really muddied up. and the transfer now to Blu-ray is crisp. It's so friggin' crisp, and the colors pop like never before. So I'm probably gonna wind up waiting and trying to get it on like a digital release thing. I don't know if I'm gonna shell it out for the whole super deluxe version. That is
also the character designs. Bruce Timm's art, which it was kind of like a mixture of Jack Kirby meets Alex Toth's clean, kind of art with actual realistic.
I love the hell out of it. I loved it so much that I'm hoping one day they do like a Batman noir movie where it's like an Elseworlds that takes place in the 40s, and you get to see like an animated series but live action version. I love that. I think that style for Batman, that super gothic / art deco. Art deco really is the style they went with. It just fits that world perfectly, and it fits that whole the villains being more gangster-like. And it had some of the greatest iterations of characters ever. I mean, it gave us Harley Quinn. That's number one. It gave us what I think is the best version of Clayface. I mean, that Clayface was friggin' excellent, and that two-parter with Clayface was just the stuff that writing that dreams are made of. Feet of Clay, I believe, was the name of that two-parter. So, Baz, favorite Batman the Animated Series episode, or at least one that comes to mind when someone asks you, "Hey, I want to get into Batman the Animated Series. Where do I start?"
Well, it's perfect that you bring up Clayface because it's a Clayface centric episode. It's Growing Pains, which is Robin is the star of, actually, and he meets a girl in the street that he saves, some homeless girl, and later on you find out that she was actually a piece of Clayface that he sent out as a scout to get something, whatever, and she eventually gets reabsorbed into Clayface at the end of the episode, and it's kind of like, well, she was Clayface, but she wasn't, because she had her own kind of identity. She had amnesia. She didn't know that she was a part of.
Right. So she was starting to kind of like become her own thing, and then having to get reabsorbed back into kind of, go back to the mothership kind of.
I like those I like when fiction, poses those sorts of questions,
Yeah, it was very mature too, the cartoon. The cartoon had it's a kid's cartoon, it's Batman. Nah, the cartoon had a serious maturity about it, man. This cartoon is really for like 13, 14-year-old kids. I mean, your younger kids can get into it, but I think it's more for like a mature mind because of questions like that, and to get you think a little outside the box esoterically. It kind of, poses those lifelike questions. My favorite Batman the Animated Series episode was the first Batman the Animated Series episode I've ever saw when I was a kid, and that was Heart of Ice. I think it was talk about pulling on the friggin' heartstrings. This almost, for a time, this made Mr. Freeze my favorite Batman villain for a short period of time, because it took Mr. Freeze is cool, right? Not the Arnold Mr. Freeze, all right? Not the walking robot Mr. Freeze. Although this is a walking robot version of Mr. Freeze, actually. So I got to kind of be careful with the words I choose here. They really show you the fall that this guy had, Victor Freeze, with his wife being encapsulated in ice. And how far would you go to free and save someone you love? And it really focuses on the sadness that takes place in Victor's heart. And, Batman's trying to, he has to stop him, but at the same time, he's like, damn, like what this guy is doing by there's another character, a third party in this that's keeping Victor from his wife, kind of from Nora, and Batman winds up giving him the big old up yours at the end of the episode because of him getting in the way and kind of screwing up Victor's life and turning him into Mr. Freeze. And it was just a beautifully written story, and it's sad and it's fun and it's got a ton of action, and you get to see Batman steps right up to Mr. Freeze, starts knocking him around, and Mr. Freeze just grabs him by the throat, lifts him up, and busts his ass. So you get to see how Diesel Freeze really is at the same time, too. Plus, the voice acting on Mr. Freeze in that cartoon was out of this friggin' world.
And who knew Mark Hamill would be one of the best versions of the Joker, too?
Yeah, really, man. I mean, everybody, it seems like every actor, if you're lucky, you get the two, right? Like you get Harrison Ford's got Indiana Jones and Han Solo, right? You got Sylvester Stallone has Rocky and Rambo. Mark Hamill's got the friggin' Joker and Luke Skywalker. I mean, whether it's a cartoon or not, every time people, from what I've seen, from every poll I read, what's the best iteration of the Joker? Everyone goes, Batman the Animated Series, Mark Hamill. Hands down. You know, I mean, Heath Ledger is great for the live action, but the Joker, not a reinvention of the chaotic person and all that. The friggin' Joker from the comics, you get him in the animated series. So there are a ton of other great episodes. Those are just the 2 episodes that come to mind. Honorable mention, Over the Edge. Right before the show started, Baz and I were talking about what was the Fear one with Scarecrow?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Damn, I just mentioned it, and we were talking about how like that's everyone's typical favorite episode. Chance to Dream.
Chance to Dream, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one too. That DC Direct Batmobile is a gorgeous piece. I keep forgetting to buy that. And the Batjet. Yes, the DC Direct Batmobile from the Batman the Animated Series and the Batjet are number one. They're freaking huge. They're like bigger than the length of this table, especially the Batjet. It's like almost like 1.5 times the width of this. So it's really friggin' big, but they look so damn nice. I mean, those animated series figures that DC Collectibles is doing are just beautiful. Friggin' beautiful.
You know who I liked from the animated series too? The ventriloquist.
The ventriloquist, yeah, yo, they say that's what I'm saying. The 1940s Art Deco they led themselves to these other Batman villains that you're like, wow, really? And he's such a good, underrated Bat villain, and he shines in that series, man. He really friggin' shines.
Remember Baby Doll? Little child actress that didn't grow up, like she was stunted growth or something. She stayed small. She stayed
small, but she was really like an adult in the mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta get these freaking cartoons now and start watching them. It's just time constraints. So I guess I gotta get Captain Awesome with me. For those that don't know, that's my son Grayson, Captain Awesome. Bring him on and try and just show him the ones that I know he'll really gravitate to. Because the ones that are a little bit more heavy, like Over the Edge, I might have to like kind of, push back on those a little bit and kind of hold them off. And we also got the Return of the Joker, which was a great way to tie in Batman the Animated Series and the Batman Beyond show. Those are the perfect movie tie-in for both of those shows. We discussed that on one of the I think we discussed that on the Batman Day episode. Sim Tim Reviews, awesome show, and I like the figures too. You're the man, bro. Thanks, appreciate it. Right out of the Showcase Matrix, you got it. And Marisla, all right, M. Sorry, I can't even see because I'm so far away here. I've been thinking of pre-ordering the Mondo Mr. Freeze. Yeah, the Mondo figures look really great, especially if you're a 1/6 scale collector. What I liked really a lot about those, and all right, back when Red Cup Review had like nothing, I had nothing to review, right? So I had to come up with shit to start this channel with. I went and I did my favorite reveals from San Diego Comic-Con last year. I did like my top 10. And I believe my number 10 was the Mondo releases for the first time we got a chance to see the Mondo releases for both Batman and Mr. Freeze. And the reason why I chose that as my number 10 reveal from the con was because of the paint applications. Here's something that companies I'm seeing are starting to do now. They need these cartoon properties. I think they need to re-release some of these figures with that animation style paint job on them itself, right? So you have your Mondo Mr. Freeze. He's actually painted cell shading. So he looks great. He looks like he pops right off of there. There's a lot of customizers on eBay for those of you that like Transformers, especially the G1 stuff, that have like the Masterpiece series figures, the Kara Masterpiece, the newer Transformers. There are guys that paint these things over on eBay, and they look like cartoons are sitting on your desk. Like you're looking at it, you're like, yo, it looks like a friggin' cartoon is standing on my friggin' desk. So I wish these companies would just start coming out with paint jobs that make them look like the actual characters they represent, because they could. The paint job, man, it's where it's at. I'm telling you,
it's that extra shading, right? It looks so good.
Yeah, you get like the shine. It's almost like on the Mr. Freeze one, I know there's like a blue hue that kind of runs down his body as if like something's already reflecting off of him. And it really just gives it like the cartoon is standing on your friggin' desk. And that's just like, I mean, look, how much you're gonna play with these friggin' things, especially a 6-scale figure. You take it out, you pose it, you put it in your thing. But when it's in your friggin' Deltoff and you're looking at it, it looks like there's a goddamn cartoon sitting in there. Mwah, perfection.
Well, check it out. Here is the Batman animated series version of Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Oh, me and Laura argue about this all. Sorry, Miss Bell. Whoops, let it slip. Argue about that Batman all the time. I love grumpy big Batman. Tell us about grumpy big Batman.
Oh, he's huge. You could somebody breaks into your house, you launch this at the Adam's apple, you have a few seconds. Yeah, he's great.
How's the articulation on him?
He's good, but I'm not gonna mess with him articulation wise because I don't want to loosen up the knees at all to where I can't pose him because he's top heavy. But he does stand pretty well.
That's part of the 3-pack with Carrie Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and they gotta look great next to each other.
And the mutant, yeah,
the mutant with super nipples, right?
Yeah,
Rob Jufrey's in the chat.
Yeah,
show the nipples.
There he is.
There's the nipples.
The super nipples.
Batman the animated nipples. Jufrey's in the chat, bro. What's up, brother?
What's up?
Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're showing us some love. Please remember to like the video. Anyone that hasn't already, please give us a like. It helps us out so much. Rob, you would have loved last week's episode. We were talking horror, bro. We went through the whole thing with Night of the Living Dead and all those crazy-ass movies we used to watch back at your house back in the day. So thanks for showing up, man. Right on. Rob, just a fan. Hey, oh boy, the room is starting to fill up now. The water is rising, and I'm running out of things to talk about, but there are still a few left. So hang on, folks.
Well, hold on. I wanted to shout out this new comic. It's called Blue Mamba. It's independent creators. There you go.
Nice art.
Right, the art is really cool. The premise is cool. This chick is like an ex-Marine. Now she's like a government operative, and she fights like this Antifa type group in the first issue. The art's really good.
Where'd you get that from? You got that out of a comic shop?
I got that from like an Indiegogo.
Oh, nice, man. That looks like Michael Turner meets kind of like J. Scott Campbell type art.
Yes, exactly. So it also came with a few like kind of postcard art.
Nice.
Right? Now you're gonna love this one. This is my favorite.
Oh boy.
Here you go. What does that look like? That is just amazing. So yeah, there's still good comics out there, guys.
like the late great George Carlin once said, and excuse to any ladies that are watching right now, can you actually look at a girl licking on a lollipop or an ice cream cone and not think about a blowjob? Yeah, sorry to get graphic, because George Carlin's like my favorite comic ever.
Also, it came with this big Blue Mamba sticker and cards. So yeah, it's cool, man. I've been trying to support independent creators.
Oh yeah, man, I'm noticing that too. That I'm this close away from getting into Cyberfrog. For those that don't know, that's Ethan Van Sciver's original creation, and I just love Ethan Van Sciver's art. I mean, he pretty much took DC, the original DC Rebirth, not the new Rebirth that's going on now, but when they rebirthed Green Lantern and Flash and brought Barry Allen back and brought back the original Hal Jordan. I mean, the Sinestro Corps War. This guy was like the shit. It pretty much saved DC. When he rebooted all these things, him and Jeff Johns pretty much saved the DC universe about 12 or so years ago. So definitely, yeah, support your independent stuff. What's that?
Mike S. Miller too. It's got some good coming out too. Lone Star, it's called.
Yeah, Mike S. Miller is he's got pretty good art for those of you that get into the Injustice. The Injustice trades, which are freaking awesome. For video game trades, these stories are freaking awesome Elseworld stories. And when it first came out, I was like, I'm not buying a fucking comic that's after a video game. What kind of bullshit tie-in is this? Nah, it's awesome, and it's way better than the freaking game itself. And Mike Miller's got he draws some graphic shit. You want to see somebody get their face busted, an arm broken, a nose broken, or something? He is the artist you're looking for that. I mean, that shot with Superman putting his arm through the Joker's stomach and it come out the other side, that's Mike Miller. So he's a graphic son of a bitch. All right. Okay, check it out. I'm going to call out some toy companies right now. comes to my attention lately that a lot of these toy companies, Mezco, Sideshow, I'm sure along with some others, and I love those two. Those are my companies. I'm a Sideshow guy. I'm a Mezco guy. You guys know from my collection. I'm a Hot Toys guy. I'm an Asmus guy. Get all my stuff through Sideshow most of the time or from Mezco Direct. Noticing that companies are doing their own unboxing videos and their own reviews. Okay, now they're not all doing their own reviews, so I'm not just going to jump the gun on that. But they are not just them, other companies too, starting to do their own unboxings. Right now, what that does is that takes power away from the YouTubers themselves. Yeah, this is a jealousy thing. I'm supposed to be the guy fucking unboxing these things for people to look at, but it's not just me. There's a whole world out there filled of YouTubers that have calmer personalities than I do, that are crazier than I am. Guys like Shardamus Prime. There are just a ton of the guys I was with last night in the Darth Castle that do the statues and stuff, and the Paradox Nerd. I believe even Slim Tim does his reviews too. There's a ton of us, right? These companies are doing their own unboxings. Okay, now I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a high definition 1080p 4K camera with the boom mic coming over my head with the super lighting and a studio setting. And they're doing these unboxings. Mezco's doing these stop motion unboxings, and Sideshow does their weekly show where they're doing their unboxings as well in these super deluxe, like $10,000-$15,000 studios with their studio lighting and everything else, with perfect sound, with quick cuts showing things off as the girl or the guy is talking about it, breaking it down for you. Great. Thank you for that. However, I got to call bullshit on this at the same time, because what it does is it's not only pulling power out of our hands, but we're the ones that are actually buying the stuff, because I'm not getting my stuff for them for free. I'm not even getting a goddamn discount from these people. You want to see an unboxing video? You want to see what something looks like in your hand? Okay, yeah, I know. Your eyes, you don't get more 4K than your eyeballs, right? So a 4K camera is really going to show you what it's like to kind of hold it in your hand. Other than that, barring that, look at many different reviewers. Look at a guy who has like not that many subscribers. Look at a guy with 15, 25, 125,000 subscribers. Kind of get a mixture of all these things going on to get a feel for what all this other stuff is. Because most of the time that people are taking photos of this and they're doing these high-tech unboxings, the figure doesn't look like that. Okay, it never looks like the photos, and it's all photoshopped. It's under perfect studio lighting. Look, in your house, you won't got perfect studio lighting. You're going to pull the shit out of the package and look at it. So I'm calling bullshit, okay, especially on certain other companies that are starting to do their own reviews, and they think they're freaking slick, that they have like, oh, watch us have these other guys come in to do the review on our show. This is what these fucking companies are doing. They have their own YouTube channels, okay? So that have hundreds of thousands of followers. Who the hell's not going to follow Sideshow? Okay, I follow them. I watch their videos too. Okay, I'm not being a hypocrite here. I'm calling it like I see it. Then they have other guys come in and go, oh, they're going to be doing an unboxing or an in-studio review. And it's like, look, they're under perfect lighting. They're on your YouTube channel. So now you're giving them the watch. So now the big company is getting the views. They're getting the YouTube advertising. They're getting all the money away from the small guy like myself and everybody else probably that's watching right now. And they're keeping it in-house. So they're getting the money from the advertising from YouTube. They're also pulling. I don't have to give you shit. Why do I got to give you a fucking figure for when I could just give it to this gentleman right here that's going to come into my multi-$1,000 studio and do it right here for you guys under perfect lighting. So all I'm saying is that it's a crock of horse shit, so don't just fall for it. Yes, watch their shows. They're great. I watch Sideshow every Wednesday. I think they're wonderful. I think Susan's great. Great companies. Love Mezco too. It's all I freaking collect. However, I'm calling bullshit when I see it, so please be wary of that stuff because I see a trend starting. Once one company does it, another company's going to do it, and before you know it, the reviewer and the people like us, we're going to be dinosaurs because who the hell is going to want to watch your video when I can go and watch Sideshow's video? Or Mezco's video. Keep that in mind, folks. It's just some food for thought. Okay. Now that I've said that, I want to endorse this comic, Kill or Be Killed, because everything Ed Brubaker writes with Sean Phillips is the greatest thing of all time ever. So if you don't want to just get into superhero-y stuff and you want to do a little bit of the independent stuff, First of all, go out and get yourself Why the Last Man, because it's quite possibly the greatest story written in comic form that's not superhero-y. And then anything that Ed Brubaker writes, go and buy, because it's freaking awesome. I'm on the 4th trade of this. This comic is absolutely amazing. It's about a kid who tries to commit suicide, and he fails, and a demon gives him the opportunity as he's laying broken and bleeding in an alley and says, I will allow you to live, but you have to kill somebody for me once a month and feed my soul with the blood of people. So the kid takes the deal, and now this 20-something-year-old kid has to go out and kill for this demon. But he winds up hunting down drug dealers and child rapists and child pornographers and sex traffickers and all kinds of crazy shit. And it takes place in New York, my hometown. Half the story is in the city, half the story is in New Rochelle, and the other, well, not half. A third is in New Rochelle, a third is in Yonkers, and a third is in Manhattan. So it's an excellent story. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and they work great together. Baz, anything you got brewing over there before I keep it moving?
Coffee.
Oh, okay. Coffee's always good. Let's see. I think you slightly missed.
Check this out. I just went telling my girl yesterday that I'm doing like a high protein diet. You know, like,
right.
I've been eating way too many carbs. You guys, you've been cooking way too many carbs over here. I need protein, right? I just get served a giant big plate of pasta just now, and I'm like, send it back. I'm like, I just told you, like, I'm doing a protein diet, and you give me a big plate. Anyway.
Well, look, man, you got some serious fucking willpower, because Italians, we love our pasta. And I got to tell you, my favorite thing is chicken parm. My second favorite thing is spaghetti and meatballs, bro. And unless it's like an excellent steak or something. So I would not be able to refuse a bowl of pasta. I'd eat that shit up hook, line, and fucking sinker, fellas. All right. Check this out. Speaking of Sideshow and calling them out on their bullshit, and they got great production, don't get me wrong. I love Spooktacular. I did great. Oh, and anybody get any Spooktacular points? Write it in the freaking comments. I wound up making, Miss Bell and I wound up doing about $38 to $42 a piece this year on that. Oh, and they also released this week, this is the reason why R2 is out, Sideshow released the new Hot Toys R2D2, which has a 60% metal dome, just the dome, 60% metal. And he comes with every accessory you could possibly have with R2, every attachment, although you're just going to pose him like this. You're not going to have him with his friggin' attachments out. Maybe you'll have the little Luke Skywalker lightsaber spinning up. This is actually the Sideshow version, and I repainted it to kind of dirty him up because the Sideshow version itself is the cheaper Sideshow version, the first release. And I dirtied him up. I kind of black washed him a little bit. So all this paint is my doing. I repainted the entire thing. I gave him more of a metallic paint job on the dome to kind of have the light reflect off of it a little bit better. However, the new Hot Toys one is $245 freaking dollars. Are they kidding? All right, look, I might get it. Okay, if I can get it cheap through my sponsor or something like that. But how are you going to spend $245 on an R2D2 figure when other actual 6-scale figures with head sculpts are much cheaper? Don't give me that bullshit that it's got die-cast parts. The fucking dome is 60% of just the dome is sheet metal. Come on, guys. You know, it's a little ridiculous at this point. However, it does have a remote this time for the sounds and light up eyes. I think it has like the light up eyes and electronics and the on-off button for the sound. So you could like be sitting on your couch and go hit it and you hear the and you can see the lights and stuff. So that's a very good idea. I think that's pretty cool. The remote is definitely, but you got to be able to get it from across the room. If you got to be on top of the damn thing, then it's a friggin' waste to begin with anyway.
Speaking of Star Wars, I saw some really cool Hasbro Star Wars stuff coming out. Like they're having conventions in France and London. So Hasbro has been revealing some promotional pictures. Released what's called Mace Windu picture that looks amazing. I mean, it looks just like Samuel L. Jackson. Their face technology is actually almost, I think, ahead of some SH Figuarts stuff. It looks amazing. And also some new Yoda. I saw Yoda that looks great. Padme. They're releasing a new Anakin That looks good. So yeah.
Here's something to keep in mind too as well. And when I went to New York Comic Con, because New York Comic Con gets slapped around as like the second rate con, even though it pulls in more people, 25% more people than San Diego does. New York Comic Con is actually the shit now. San Diego is actually second banana and second fiddle when it comes to actual attendees. That being said, there weren't very many reveals at New York Comic Con. And I'm noticing that over the last few weeks, last month or two, there's been other cons. There's like this LA con now. So you have San Diego Comic Con. Now you have LA con. And you have the con that Baz just brought up, which was like overseas. It was like London con or something. And you're getting less reveals all at once, but you're getting more reveals at other shows, right? So they're doing more than one show now. So you're going to get, instead of getting like, oh, Star Wars The Black Series, look at here's the 10 new figures we got coming out this year. You're going to see like 4 releases at San Diego, maybe 1 for New York, 2 for LA, 2 for London, and they're going to spread them out a little bit more. So don't just shit on the con and say, oh, this is bullshit. They're not showing us any new product. You're going to probably get it. It's going to be a little bit more sprinkled out salt-wise, kind of, you know, so it seems like that this is what these companies are doing. And it wasn't just the Black Series bets they're doing this with. There was a lot of new Marvel Legends as well, right?
Yeah. They had they showed Grey Gargoyle. Is it four-armed? Yeah, the four-armed Spider-Man. What else? Classic Loki, which I'm excited about because that means we're closer to getting a Kirby like Thor, which I'm dying for. So.
Oh, Baz, you're starting to break up. We're starting to lose you a little bit. But yes, everything that he had just said is coming out along with Beast. And that's part of the Caliban wave with Forge. And that looks like it's going to be an excellent lineup. I think it's Blink is in the series as well. So go check out those Marvel Legends as well. I wanted to bring up this. This is, what? What'd you say? What was that?
The Caliban wave, which is, I think, like you said, Blink. I think they're all in the same wave.
Yeah, it's like Blink, Forge, Gambit, Caliban, Beast, a new Jubilee. It's a good wave.
That is a sick wave. That is a sick wave.
Yeah, especially to have like both Caliban and Beast, which are basically build the figures in and of themselves to be together in one wave. That is pretty sick. I'd rather sprinkled out than seeing the same shit at every convention. Yes, I do too. I kind of was like, oh, boo. I burp every fucking episode. I kind of go boo at first and then, yay, all right, it makes more sense. So, yes, word up. Where the hell is a new Myers 1/6 or Pennywise? Need more horror in 1/6. Well, that's Sideshow. Sideshow has been pulling back on their horror stuff because they are getting ready to launch something new that was revealed during Spooktacular, and that was this little thing that I had picked up. I got the Court of the Dead Omnibus. I have no idea about Court of the Dead. No, I'm not collecting their premium format figures that are $400, $500, and $600. Ain't fucking happening. However, I do love alternate mythologies. I love crazy, like reading about different versions of heaven and hell and death and all that other crazy shit. I'm just into all that, just different versions of things. So I picked this bad boy up. This is the Court of the Dead Grave Tales. So these are like little mini stories as told by the court jester here, Malestrovos, who's part of the Flesh faction, I believe. And he's like the court jester, and he like tells you a bunch of little tales and stuff. It's like 144 pages of like different characters and stuff like that. So I got that. And I picked up the Court of the Dead, the Chronicles of the Underworld, which is basically an encyclopedia of all their different characters. And it's got some pretty fucking crazy art in there. And this stuff really works well for tattoos. Those guys that like to have like tattoo type stuff and things like that are just into like all kinds of crazy things. And you've seen this before 100 friggin' times, you know, and they have like their own like, little court and how it works and stuff like that. I bring that up because I absolutely fell in love with this character just from the look and the design of it. I'm going to pull it up now. The character's name is Kier. She's part of what's called the Spirit faction. And I'm not just bringing this up for any old reason. I'm bringing this up because, number one, this looks great. And number two, this is a 6th scale that they're actually coming out with. So check this out. All right, there's Kier in 6th scale form. And that's not a statue. They're actually, Sideshow is teaming up with Fishin, Phinshian, or some shit like that. Anyways, they make bodies for these 6 scale. They make seamless bodies. They make the best seamless bodies and durable to where like the joints are actually ratcheted and they have like the real life like skin texture to them and they hold the paint really well. They're the top of the line for jointless 6 scale bodies. Sideshow is teaming up with them officially, which is going to give them a little tiny bit of a leg up on Hot Toys because Hot Toys refuses to work with that company for whatever reason. So Sideshow is now going to have possibly the best bodies on the market as far as like seamless joints and stuff. When I saw this, I thought it was a damn statue, and it's not. It's a 6 scale multi-posable figure of Kier, who happens to be my favorite design out of the Court of the Dead figures. And she's like a fallen angel. And for those of you that want to know more about Kier, you can go on the Sideshow website and read up about her. I just think she looks dynamite as hell. She's basically the Gamora of the story, taken under, Death takes her under his wing and sends her out to go take the souls of like fallen archangels and shit. And she's basically like a bounty hunter for angels. And she does all kinds of crazy shit, but she's
so what's the red on her arms?
So her arms, right? Her arms look like she's wearing red gloves. It's not red gloves. It's actually blood. Okay. Like it's actually like the blood of angels that she's like slain, and like she cuts their heads off and pulls their fucking skulls out and shit, and then takes their soul back to death. Any angel that wanders too far away from heaven, which I think is just freaking outrageous.
Listen, see that you don't get much more metal than that, folks.
Yeah, she's so freaking. I mean, look at it here. Here she is, right here. Here she is on a battlefield of what looks like World War I soldiers. And she's laying on like a bloodied battlefield here. Here, I'm going to take the Kier down so you can see what I'm talking about from this picture here. Take a look at this shit. Look at that. That is freaking dynamite.
Awesome. I love the pose.
The pose is great. Sexy as hell. She's got the sword, the fallen Valkyrie, basically. That's what she is. She was supposed to be like an archangel or like a Valkyrie. And she was kicked out of heaven because her gestational sister, when they were born together, robbed her of her essence, and she was cast out of heaven. And then Death took her under the wing. Now, Death isn't evil. There's like heaven and hell, and then there's Death in the middle, kind of. And they're the court that judge the souls and where they're going to go and shit. So Death sends her out to collect souls for him, and she's basically has a hard on for heaven. So she goes after anyone wanders too far away from those pearly gates. She's fucking whacking you down out of retribution for being kicked out of where she feels as though she belongs. And her sister's still there, her twin sisters, like living the good life up in heaven while she's cast out and shit. So it's just goes for a great story. And I really like what Sideshow is doing as far as like launching this brand. They did a really excellent job over the last 3 years between the statues, the designs. They had a Kickstarter for an actual board game come out that's like more role playing than just actual board game. They got puzzles and all kinds of shit and t-shirts, but they went really deep into the mythology. And what reminded me of was the Mass Effect video game, which happens to be my favorite video game of all time, the Mass Effect series, where they actually created such a deep, like really super friggin' deep mythology, and they did an excellent job as well. So if you're into like metal shit, check out the Court of the Dead. By all means, don't go out and buy yourself $500-$600 statues. That's friggin' ridiculous. Wait for the 6 scale stuff. If you even find any of the characters remotely interesting, go out to Amazon and get the Court of the Dead books. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Dude, I have friggin' I'm not sure. What's her name? Amazon. See, whenever you say Amazon, the thing activates.
You have Eliza enabled.
Oh, the what's her face activated on your side?
What's her name?
I don't know.
Alexa. She just said my name is Alexa. Yeah. So this Alexa in this room over here, you say Amazon and then it activates instead of Alexa.
My God.
So you said Amazon and it just started.
That would go over great on Themyscira, huh? She'd just be buried in packages and shit. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Anyways, Fishin' very underrated. Yes, Fishin' does the best body. So that's what kind of got me like, okay, piqued my interest. Sideshow's really trying to kick up their figures because they get a lot of slack. People compare them to Hot Toys because they're priced the same. They have no business pricing themselves anywhere near what a Hot Toys costs. They should be in Asmus territory, and they're even a step under Asmus. But I like what they did. I have both, as you can see here, Escape from New York and the Ash, and I was happy with both figures. I was more happy with Ash as far as the way he came right out. I went and got a repaint done on the Escape from New York Snake Plissken on just the face sculpt, and I kind of took some black wash and dirtied up his boots a little bit and roughed up his coat because his coat came too clean. I took some sandpaper and sanded him down a little bit. You know, I got a little bit of ballsy with the figure just to kind of give it a rough him up a little bit, try and customize him, and now I'm perfectly happy with it. So if you want to get a little bit of elbow grease into your figures and you're not afraid to kind of get your hands just a little bit dirty, Sideshow's not that bad. But now they're teaming up with Fish, and good thing you guys got going on there. Good shit. All right, Baz. I think I might be out of shit to talk about. I got nothing else for you, bro. I think we pretty much mentioned everything else.
It wasn't a big week in the news. There wasn't a lot of stuff.
We still went for about an hour and 10 minutes anyway.
I'm still waiting that friggin' crossover from DC TV.
Oh, God, yeah. No, that's going to be great. So definitely keep your eye open for that because that's coming in December, and it's going to be lovely. Lovely. Oh, if you hate those shows, which you really shouldn't, but if you hate the CW shows, the crossovers are so friggin' good. They make the movies look like I'll just watch the crossovers. Okay,
that's where I'm at this point. Like I don't watch the individual episodes. I just watch the crossovers now.
No, they're so friggin' damn good. I want to give a shout out to the Paradox Nerd. That's why we had the Lion-O out for him this week because his last video was an unboxing of the Mum-Ra statue from Sideshow, which is absolutely beautiful, and it is freaking huge, and Mum-Ra's just friggin' awesome to begin with. So I threw the Lion-O out on the table for him as a nice little undercover shout out to him. That's all I got here, bro, this week for the Red Cup review, Baz. Maybe next week we'll try and get a guest appearance from somebody on with us or something, you know. Maybe this week will be chock full of some more information. I want to give shouts to everybody in the chat. Thank you for keeping this lovely. Thank you for keeping this popping and fun. Definitely subscribe to each other and whatever. Like the video. Check out the Red Cup review on Facebook, official Red Cup review, so I don't have to post this damn video to a million different places. Those guys that come back here time and time again, you know where it's at. Saturday night, every Saturday at 10 o'clock. We're going to run into a couple problems, though, because once the snow comes, I work in snow removal, and that's going to be a big deal. So we may have to take a little bit of a hiatus, but that shit ain't going to happen for another few months. So we don't have to worry about it just now. Baz, anything to say?
Check out the Source Wall with Baz on YouTube. I have 4 whole videos now.
Baz is climbing the freaking ranks, bro. Let me tell you.
Yes, and I have some picture-in-picture editing stuff going on.
I'm sorry?
I also have some picture-in-picture editing stuff going on, man. Oh, forget it.
Good. No, it's good that you're increasing your game after 4 videos. It took me 4 videos just to realize that I don't have to film. Here's a quick little insider tip for the Red Cup review fans. Family. You guys ain't fans. You're part of the family. When I first started filming my videos, I had a video camera, my wife on the other side of the camera, and I didn't know what the hell editing was. I didn't know how to use editing software. I was using the freaking camera before I started using this damn thing that has every app in the freaking world built into it, right? I would do everything in one take. So I was doing 10, 12, 15-minute reviews. My first 2-3 reviews were straight through with no breaks. That's why they were very even-keeled and kind of on the more boring side, because I would do like an entire review, and then I would get to the end of the review and screw up like, okay, I want to thank the laironline.net or laironline.nyc, and flub that line and go, shit. Now I got to redo the whole damn review because I wanted to come across as professional as possible. Well, back then I was doing a lot more with Geekstronomy. Go check out geekstronomy.com as well. So I would have to clip and repeat the whole process again. So to do one friggin' video would take us like 3 damn hours. And I was like, look, it's got to get easier than this. And then I met up with somebody that told me how to do editing, so we improved week by week. So Baz, if you're already doing picture-in-pictures after your 4th fucking episode, let me tell you, you're way ahead of the game than I was, brother. I mean,
I'm just gonna keep it like kind of lo-fi anyway. You know, it's just gonna be like a little thing. I'm not really trying to, be.
Well, you ain't got to worry about doing a friggin' review and then getting to the 12-minute mark and going, damn, and starting all over.
I've done that though. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. So everybody turn the clocks back tonight. Remember, we travel back to the future and we will see you next week. Remember to join us on Facebook and Instagram, Official Red Cup Review. That's at Official Red Cup Review. You'll get all the updates, and Miss Bell puts up pictures from week to week. And if you go to the Official Red Cup Review community, because there's 2 Facebook pages, Official Red Cup Review and Official Red Cup Review community. The Official Red Cup Review is where I put my stuff out, and it's a chance for you guys to email me questions, things you want to see during the week. Hey, talk about this on the show. Go to the Official Red Cup Review on Facebook and write to me and say, hey, you stupid son of a bitch, talk about this week. I'm interested in this. That's what that's for. The Official Red Cup Review community is for you guys to post pictures of your collection and talk amongst yourselves to get to know the community and kind of say, hey, check this out. Hey, this is new this week. Hey, I got this new toy. So by all means, join both. I look at both. I answer questions within a few hours. I'm always on my goddamn phone. That's something else I got to get over. So please subscribe. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. And we'll catch you next week on the Red Cup Review. Baz, don't go anywhere. We'll send everybody out back next Saturday night.